I'm 73 years old, and no, it's not because of perfect genes or expensive routines. I don't spend my mornings chasing the next supplement or miracle trend. And yet, every day I wake up clear-headed, pain-free and full of energy, something I never thought would be possible after 60. I know what it feels like to wake up tired, stiff and wondering if the best years are behind you, to feel like your body is slowing down faster than your spirit. You try to do everything right, eat healthy, take your vitamins, maybe even walk a little each day. But somehow that deep exhaustion still lingers. The spark fades a little more each year, and you start to wonder, is this just aging? But the truth is, I didn't add more things to my life. I didn't buy new pills, or spend hours meditating, or live on kale smoothies. I simply removed what no longer served me, the noise, the rush, the habits that drained me, and built 6 quiet, powerful habits that changed everything. They're not trendy and they're not hard. They don't require money, discipline, or willpower, only attention and kindness toward your own body. Because when you treat your body with gentleness instead of force, it begins to heal itself. And that's when everything changes. Your energy, your sleep, your focus, even the way you look in the mirror. These 6 daily habits brought my strength, peace and clarity back. And today I'm going to share each of them with you, not as a doctor, but as someone who's lived it. Stay with me until the end, because I'll give you a simple phrase to comment so I can find your message and send you a small gift personally. This could be the moment you finally stop chasing fixes and start feeling like yourself again. The phrase is simple. I want to improve my health. You try to eat healthy. You take your vitamins. You walk a little every day, maybe even do your stretches, but somehow the fatigue remains. That quiet heaviness in your body, the fog behind your eyes, the stiffness that greets you before the morning sun. I remember that feeling well. You go to bed early, but wake up tired. You eat light, yet feel bloated. You try to stay positive, but your energy fades halfway through the day. And deep down, you start to wonder, is this just what getting older feels like? But here's what I've learned after 73 years. Your body isn't broken. It isn't giving up. It's simply adapting. After 60, your body doesn't stop working. It starts working differently. But your hormones shift, your digestion slows, and the same routines that once helped you can now quietly hold you back. It's not that your body forgot how to thrive. It's that it's asking you to listen in a new way, to move slower, breathe deeper, rest more intentionally, to stop forcing and start cooperating. Most people mistake this stage of life for decline, when in truth it's transformation. Your body isn't losing youth, it's learning wisdom. It's showing you what no longer fits. It's asking for a different kind of fuel, a gentler rhythm, a softer kind of care. And that's the secret I wish more people understood. Aging isn't about losing youth. It's about learning a new rhythm. When you start to live in harmony with that rhythm, everything begins to shift. Your digestion calms, your energy evens out, your mind clears. You feel less like you're fighting age and more like you're finally dancing with it. And when I finally learned to listen to that rhythm, these 6 daily habits became the foundation of everything that keeps me alive, vibrant and deeply at peace. They're simple, but they changed my entire relationship with my body. Let me show you what I mean. Every morning before I reach for breakfast or tea, I remind my cells to stay awake with cold and warmth. It's a ritual I began years ago, almost by accident. One winter morning, I turned on the shower and the water was freezing. I gasped. Every part of me wanted to turn it off. But instead, I stayed for a few seconds, then slowly turned it warm. When I stepped out, something unexpected happened. My mind felt alive, my skin tingled, and my whole body pulsed with energy. It wasn't comfort I felt, it was aliveness. That's when I realized the body doesn't just crave comfort, it craves contrast. Cold, then warm. Stillness, then motion. Wake, then rest. That natural balance is what keeps us adaptable, and adaptability, not youth, is the true key to longevity. So now, each morning, I begin with 30 seconds of cool water, just long enough to feel my breath catch and my body wake. Then I slowly turn it warm. The warmth feels deeper after the cold, as if it's sinking into my bones. Some days I do this as a shower. Other days I simply soak my feet, first in cool water, then warm. Both work beautifully. What matters is the message it sends to your body. It's time to wake up. You're alive. Keep moving. You see, your blood vessels are like tiny rivers. Cold makes them tighten. Warmth makes them open. This gentle dance strengthens circulation, clears the lymphatic system, and wakes up your mitochondria, those little engines inside every cell that produce your energy. With time, it even strengthens your immune system, helping your body adapt to stress with ease. But beyond the biology, there's something almost spiritual about this practice. When that cold water touches your skin, you can't think of yesterday's worries or tomorrow's to-do list. You're simply there, breathing, feeling alive. And that's why I say it's not punishment, it's permission for your body to wake up. It's a gentle reminder that life is meant to be felt, not avoided. That your body still knows how to respond, to adapt, to come alive when given the right signal. For me, this ritual is a form of gratitude, a conversation between my mind and my cells. Each morning as the water shifts from cool to warm, I whisper to myself, thank you for another day. Because every new day, every breath, every heartbeat is proof that your body is still listening, still ready to live fully no matter your age. And once you feel that warmth return to your body after the cold, it's impossible not to smile. You realize you are still here, still strong, and still capable of awakening life within yourself. Every evening, as the sun begins to lower and the light softens across the trees, I stop whatever I'm doing and step outside. It doesn't matter if it's been a busy day, a hard day, or a joyful one. I give those last minutes of daylight my full attention. Because I've learned something very simple but very powerful, the sun sets for a reason, to teach us how to let go. For 10 quiet minutes, I just breathe and watch the sky change colour from gold to pink to violet to deep blue. Sometimes I sit on my porch, sometimes I stand barefoot on the grass, and sometimes I simply open the window and rest my eyes on the horizon. While I do this, I practice slow, gentle breathing. In for 4 seconds, hold for 7, out for 8. It's called the 4-7-8 breath, and it works like a reset button for the nervous system. Each slow exhale tells your body, you're safe now, you can rest. As I breathe, I let the light fade, and with it, I let the day fade too. Every thought, every worry, every unfinished task, I let it go with the setting sun. You see, when we were younger, we could rush from one day into the next without pause. But after 60, the body asks for rhythm, a beginning, a middle, and an end. This small evening ritual teaches your body when to release, when to soften, when to prepare for sleep. Biologically, it's profound. The changing light tells your brain to lower cortisol, the stress hormone, and to raise melatonin, the hormone of rest. This simple act of watching dusk actually resets your circadian clock. It tells your body night is coming, it's time to heal. But for me, it's more than science, it's sacred. Every sunset feels like a small ceremony. A reminder that no matter what happened today, it's okay to let it go. Because holding on to the day means you carry it into the night. And that's why so many people lie awake, unable to rest. Their minds are still chasing daylight. When I was younger, I thought productivity meant never stopping. But now I see that peace begins with the courage to pause, to honor the end of the day just as much as the beginning. So I let the light fade, and with it I let the day fade too. I whisper a quiet thank you for what came and a quiet goodbye to what's gone. And by the time the sky turns dark, I feel my whole body soften, my breath slows, my mind clears, and I sleep like the earth herself at peace, in rhythm and ready for renewal. This habit may only take 10 minutes, but those 10 minutes can change how you feel for the next 10 hours. It's the bridge between who you were today and who you'll become tomorrow. Calm, clear, and free. Every morning, before I touch my phone, before I even think about breakfast, I do one simple thing. I touch the earth. For 5 to 10 minutes, I walk barefoot on the damp grass outside my home. Sometimes it's cool with morning dew, sometimes it's warm from the first kiss of sunlight. I don't rush, I just breathe, look at the trees and feel the ground beneath me. Because over the years I've learnt that one of the greatest causes of modern fatigue isn't just poor diet or lack of sleep, it's disconnection. Not emotional but physical. We've become insulated from the earth itself. Rubber shoes, concrete floors, thick carpets, screens. We've built a world that keeps us from the very thing that gives us balance. We live our entire lives without ever feeling the ground that sustains us, and slowly our bodies forget what calm feels like. That's why I began this habit, to remember. Science now calls it grounding or earthing. When your bare skin touches natural earth, grass, soil, sand, you absorb free electrons from the ground. These tiny, invisible particles act like nature's antioxidants. They neutralize free radicals, calm inflammation, and even improve sleep quality by helping your body reset its natural electrical rhythm. It sounds mystical, but it's deeply biological. Your body is electric. Every heartbeat, every thought, every muscle movement relies on electrical currents, and the earth is the greatest stabilizer of all. When you connect directly with it, your body finds its true baseline again. For me, grounding isn't just about health, it's about humility. When I place my feet on the soil, I feel small in the best possible way. The same earth that holds the trees and rivers also holds me. It reminds me that I am part of something ancient and intelligent, something that has always known how to restore itself. As I walk, I breathe deeply, and I imagine releasing all the static, all the noise, all the little stresses of the day before, letting them sink back into the soil. In return, I imagine drawing up calm like water through roots. By the time I return inside, I feel grounded, light, and quietly alive. Most people begin their day scrolling through their phones, flooding their minds with noise before they've even spoken a word. But I choose to begin with silence, with soil. Because as I often say, every morning I touch the earth before I touch my phone. And that small act, that gentle contact with nature, has changed everything. My sleep is deeper, my joints feel looser, my mood calmer, and my thoughts clearer. We spend so much time trying to rise, to elevate, to climb higher. But sometimes healing begins by coming back down, down to the ground, down to the earth that never forgot how to hold you. If you only do one thing tomorrow morning, try this. Step outside, barefoot for just 5 minutes. Feel the pulse beneath your feet, the same rhythm that beats in your heart. And you'll understand what I mean when I say, the earth doesn't just support you, it heals you. Before I feed my body, I feed my nervous system with silence. It's the first thing I do after waking. No phone, no music, no conversation, just 10 quiet minutes where I allow the morning to meet me before the world does. I sit by the window, often with a warm cup of water and lemon, and simply listen to the faint hum of life outside, the breath in my chest, the pulse in my fingertips. Those sounds, so gentle and easy to miss, are reminders that life is already moving through you. You don't need to rush to meet it. For most of my life, I believed mornings were for activity, to-do lists, chores, movement, noise, but with time, I realized something deeper. The way you begin your morning sets the tone for your entire day. If you start in chaos, your body stays in chaos. If you start in peace, that peace follows you like sunlight through the hours. So now I start with silence, because silence is the most nourishing breakfast. It may sound simple, but silence does what even the best supplements can't. It balances your nervous system. It calms your vagus nerve, the great communicator between your brain, your heart, and your gut. When this nerve is calm, your whole body listens. Your heart slows, your digestion improves, your stress hormones lower, and suddenly you can think more clearly, breathe more deeply, and feel more alive in your own skin. That's why I always say, before you feed your body, feed your nervous system. Give it peace, and it will give you strength. You see, most people wake up straight into fight or flight. They check messages, scroll through news, or talk before their mind has even caught up. Their nervous system gets flooded before they've even taken a full breath, and then they wonder why the day feels heavy. But when you start your day with silence, you give your body a chance to lead instead of react. You teach your brain that you are safe. You show your heart that there's no rush. You remind your body that stillness is productive too. Those 10 minutes aren't about meditation or discipline, they're about connection. It's the space where you remember that you are not just a body moving through a busy world, but a living, breathing part of it. Some mornings I simply close my eyes and smile. Other mornings I whisper a short prayer or gratitude. And some days I just sit, no agenda, no goal, and let the quiet fill me. And every single time when I finally stand up, I feel anchored, clear, steady, like I've built an invisible foundation no storm can shake. So if you ever feel like your mornings begin in chaos, try this. Before you reach for your phone, before you talk, before you think, just sit in silence for 10 minutes. Let the stillness feed you. Because silence, my dear, is not emptiness, it's nourishment. Every system in your body begins in your mouth. That may sound poetic, but it's also biological truth. Your mouth is the gateway to your entire internal world, a mirror of what's happening inside. If inflammation begins there, it doesn't stay there, it travels. It whispers into your bloodstream, into your joints, even into your heart. That's why every morning before brushing my teeth, before even speaking a word, I practice something ancient, something that has quietly changed my health from the inside out. It's called oil pulling. For 10 minutes, I take a spoonful of coconut oil, sometimes sesame oil, and gently swish it around my mouth, slowly, quietly, while I prepare for the morning. No rush, no force, just patience. It's an Ayurvedic practice that's thousands of years old, yet modern science now confirms what the ancients somehow knew: the mouth holds both toxins and healing. When you pull oil through it, those lipids attract and trap harmful bacteria, heavy metals and inflammatory molecules before they enter your bloodstream. When you spit it out, you're not just cleansing your mouth, you're giving your whole body a gentler start to the day. At first it feels strange. 10 minutes can seem long. But soon it becomes meditative. The rhythm of it, the quiet swirl, the feeling of cleansing, it's grounding, like washing your face from the inside. I often say when I remove the toxins from my mouth, I remove the noise from my body, because that's exactly what it feels like. The chatter quiets, my breath feels lighter, my digestion smoother, my mind clearer, and the reason is simple: your mouth is the first stop of your digestive system. Every microbe, every particle, every signal passes through it. A healthy mouth means a calm gut. A calm gut means a balanced mind. There's a deep wisdom in starting the day here at the beginning. You're telling your body, I care for you from your roots, not just your symptoms. Sometimes I light a candle while I do it. That's my moment of reflection. 10 quiet minutes, no phone, no words, just me, the gentle sound of oil moving, and the soft light flickering nearby. It feels ancient, sacred even, and when I finally spit it out and rinse my mouth, I feel refreshed, almost renewed, like I've washed away more than toxins. I've washed away yesterday's energy, yesterday's thoughts. It's a reminder that cleansing isn't always about doing more. Sometimes it's about doing something small, simple, and deeply intentional. If you try it, give yourself a week, watch how your gums soften, your breath freshens, your digestion calms. But beyond that, feel how your whole system begins to quiet, as if it finally recognizes that the day has begun, clean from the inside out. Oil pulling isn't just oral care, it's self-respect in motion. A small silent promise to your body: I'm listening, I'm caring, I'm removing the noise so you can heal. The fastest way to feel young again is to make someone else feel seen. I've come to believe that love is the most powerful medicine we have and the most overlooked. We talk so much about vitamins, diets, and exercise, but what about kindness? What about the quiet joy that fills your chest when you brighten someone's day, expecting nothing in return? Every morning I ask myself one simple question: who can I serve today? It doesn't have to be grand. Sometimes it's calling a friend who's been quiet. Sometimes it's leaving fresh bread on my neighbour's doorstep. Sometimes it's just looking into someone's eyes and really listening, not to reply, but to understand. Because here's the truth: the moment you shift your focus from yourself to someone else, something extraordinary happens inside your body. Your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, your nervous system calms, you release oxytocin, the same hormone that mothers feel when they hold their babies. It softens your heart and strengthens your immunity all at once. Service is biology in disguise. It heals you while it heals the world, and it's also the most natural anti-aging remedy there is. Because when you give love freely, your heart remembers it's still young. I've seen it again and again. People who feel lonely, tired, or unmotivated suddenly find energy again when they begin to serve. A woman once told me, "Barbara, I started cooking one meal a week for my neighbour, and I haven't felt this alive in years." It wasn't the food, it was the purpose. You see, purpose is not something we find out there, it's something we create through small, loving actions. When you make someone else's day lighter, your own body responds with vitality. You literally rewire your chemistry for joy. And that's the part few people talk about. Aging isn't just a physical process, it's emotional. When we stop feeling useful, when we stop connecting, we begin to fade long before our time. But when you serve, you tell your body, "I'm still needed, I still matter," and your cells respond, they come alive. That's why I say this habit is the most rejuvenating of all. It doesn't just lengthen your life, it deepens it. Some days my act of service is as small as sending a kind message to someone who crosses my mind. Other days it's sharing a story or preparing food for my family. The size doesn't matter, the intention does. When you live this way, giving love freely, quietly, consistently, you stop counting years. You stop fearing time because you realize that youth isn't in your skin or your joints, it's in your spirit. And when that spirit is lit by compassion, when it flows through you every day, something beautiful happens. You begin to glow again, not because of what you've taken, but because of what you've given. So if you ever wake up feeling dull or disconnected, don't ask what's missing from your life. Ask who might need a piece of your light today. Because in giving it away, you'll find it shining in you again. Something beautiful begins to happen when you start living this way. Slowly, gently, consistently. It doesn't happen in a rush. It doesn't come with fireworks or fanfare. Healing isn't loud, it's quiet. It's the kind of change that arrives softly, like the morning light that creeps through your window before you even notice it's there. At first, the signs are subtle. You wake up one morning, and the heaviness that used to greet you isn't quite as strong. You realize your belly doesn't feel as bloated, your rings slide on a little easier, your joints don't ache the way they used to when you step out of bed. Your breath feels deeper, more natural, as if your lungs suddenly remembered how to expand fully again. You look in the mirror, and for the first time in a long while, you see softness in your own expression, not fatigue, but calm. The fog behind your eyes begins to lift, and a quiet clarity starts to take its place. You find yourself laughing, not because anything is different outside, but because something inside feels lighter. Your mood evens out, your thoughts slow down. You don't snap as easily, you don't worry as fast. It's as if your mind is no longer racing to catch up with life, it's finally walking beside it. And then one night, something almost magical happens. You sleep deeply. The kind of sleep that doesn't feel like collapsing, it feels like surrender. It's not the sleep of exhaustion, it's the sleep of trust. And when you wake, you realize your body has begun to trust you again, because your body never forgot how to heal. It's been waiting all along, waiting for the right signal, the right rhythm, the right kindness. When you stop forcing it, when you stop fighting it, when you finally listen, it responds. It remembers. The inflammation that used to hum beneath the surface begins to quiet. The stress hormones that kept you tense and wide start to fade. Your nervous system exhales like a long relieved sigh after years of holding its breath. And that's when you start to feel something most people haven't felt in decades: safety. Not the kind of safety that comes from a locked door or quiet street, but the kind that lives inside your own skin. You begin to feel safe being you, safe in your own pace, safe in your body's rhythm, safe in the silence. You move differently. There's more grace in your steps, more ease in your posture. You speak more softly, not out of weakness, but because you no longer need to prove your strength. Even your thoughts become gentler, especially the ones about yourself. And that's when you realize it's no longer about looking young. It's about feeling whole, feeling connected again to your body, to the earth, to life itself. That is the real miracle of this journey. You begin to feel at home in your body again. The very place you've lived your entire life suddenly feels peaceful, welcoming, alive. Every small habit becomes part of that quiet rhythm of renewal. The cool water in the morning that wakes your cells, the touch of the earth beneath your feet, the 10 minutes of silence that clear your mind, the gentle kindness you offer to someone else, the way you watch the sunset and let the day go without clinging to it. Each of those moments becomes a piece of music together. They form the song of your healing, a rhythm of balance, of awareness, of peace. And if you listen closely, you'll hear your body whisper back, "Thank you, I remember now." Because aging was never your enemy. It was simply your body asking you to slow down enough to hear its wisdom again. To remember that inside you, beneath the years, beneath the labels, beneath the noise, there is still that same quiet intelligence that knows exactly how to repair, how to restore, how to live. And when you give it time and patience and love, it always answers. It always finds its way home. You see, these 6 habits aren't just separate practices. They're one rhythm, a rhythm of life. The cool water in the morning wakes your cells. The grounding walk connects you back to the earth. The silence nourishes your nervous system. The oil pulling clears the channels through which life begins. The sunset teaches your body to rest. And the act of service, that's what gives all of it meaning. Each one feeds the next. It's like the cycle of a day. The sun rises, you move, you breathe, you rest, you connect, you find purpose, and then it all begins again. That's the beauty of it. It's not about doing more. It's about doing with rhythm. Your body understands rhythm better than anything else. Every cell in you, every heartbeat, every breath, they all move in cycles. When you honor that, everything inside you begins to work together again. Your energy stabilizes because your mitochondria are finally getting the right signals. Your hormones rebalance because your nervous system is calm enough to listen. Your sleep deepens because your body knows when the day is ending. Your tissues repair because inflammation has finally quieted. It's not magic, it's alignment. The body heals when life moves in harmony. I often imagine it like an orchestra. For years, most people live with the instruments playing out of tune, the digestion rushing, the mind anxious, the sleep shallow, the heart tired. But when you bring back rhythm, breath, movement, rest, connection, purpose, the sound returns to harmony. That's what these habits do. They don't add pressure. They remove noise, and underneath that noise, health reveals itself. So no, it's not 6 separate habits. It's one continuous flow, a conversation between your cells and your soul. When the sun rises, you awaken. When it sets, you let go. You move, you breathe, you serve, you rest. That is what real health feels like. Not perfection, not performance, rhythm. And if there's one truth I've learned after 73 years, it's this: consistency is the real miracle. Not the grand changes, not the overnight fixes, just showing up every day in small, loving ways. That's what rebuilds the body. That's what renews the spirit. That's what keeps you alive. Not just living, but alive. Over the years, I've noticed something that quietly breaks my heart. I've seen it in hundreds of faces, in people sitting across from me, in letters, in conversations after my talks. So many people are trying so hard to feel better, and yet they're exhausted. They're frustrated, they're losing hope, because no matter what they add, the emptiness remains. They add more supplements, more powders, more capsules, more promises. They add more routines, morning routines, night routines, detox routines, endless lists of musts. They add more control, counting calories, tracking steps, timing meals to the minute. They add more willpower, as if the only thing standing between them and health is more discipline, more effort, more push. But the truth is, health doesn't come from adding more. It comes from removing the noise. You don't need another pill or another miracle plan. You don't need to follow 1,000 rules that make you feel small and guilty every time you can't keep up. What you need is space. Space for your body to breathe again, space for your mind to quiet down, space for healing to happen naturally the way it's always meant to. We've been taught from the time we were children that the solution to every problem is more effort. Work harder, push stronger, try again. But your body doesn't understand force, it understands partnership. You see, your body isn't a machine that needs constant fixing. It's a garden that needs tending. You can't make a flower bloom faster by pulling on its petals. You'll only tear it apart. But give it the right conditions, sunlight, water and patience, and the bloom happens on its own. It's the same with your body. You can't force it into balance. You can only create the environment where balance returns naturally. That's what most people miss. They chase energy instead of creating it. They chase youth instead of nurturing it. They chase control instead of peace. And it's not their fault, it's what the world keeps selling them. More products, more pressure, more perfection. But all of that noise drowns out the one thing that truly heals: listening. Real health doesn't come from the outside in, it grows from the inside out. It's born from awareness, the quiet kind, the kind that lets you feel your heartbeat, hear your breath, notice your hunger and fullness, your tension and ease. That's the real difference, not between living long and dying young, but between living asleep and living awake. You can be 60, 70, even 80 years old and still awake, still curious, still connected to the world around you, still full of wonder, because youth isn't a number, it's a rhythm. It's a state of harmony between your body, your mind, and your soul. And that rhythm doesn't come from perfection, it comes from partnership. Your body doesn't need to be punished for what it's been through. It doesn't need to be corrected or criticized. It needs to be heard. It needs to be supported. It needs to be loved. When you stop treating your body like an enemy and start treating it like the ally it has always been, something shifts. Your body stops defending itself and starts trusting you again. It heals with you, not despite you. It begins to open, to repair, to strengthen, quietly, patiently, and that's when everything changes. The fatigue begins to fade, the mind becomes clear, the breath deepens, and one morning you wake up and realize you're not chasing health anymore, you're living it. Because health isn't about doing everything right. It's about doing what's true. So if you've been trying to fix yourself, trying to add, to control, to perfect, take a breath. You're not broken. You're simply overwhelmed. Step back. Remove the noise. Let your body speak again. Because the truth is, it's been waiting for you all along. Not to push harder, not to add more, but to finally, lovingly, listen. After all these years, here's what I've learnt. You don't need another pill. You don't need another secret formula or expensive supplement. What you need is peace. Peace with your body, consistency in your habits, and love. Real love for the vessel that has carried you through every chapter of your life. Because your body isn't your enemy. It's your oldest friend. It's been there through every sunrise, every loss, every laugh, every tear. And even now, it's still trying, still whispering, I can heal, just give me the chance. So let's make a promise, a gentle one, to stop fighting ourselves and start caring again. And if you're ready to begin that journey, I have something small but special for you. Comment below. I want to improve my health. I'll read your message personally, and I'll send you a small gift to help you take your first step toward a calmer, stronger, and more vibrant body. And before you go, don't keep this message to yourself. Share it with someone your age who needs hope, who's forgotten what it feels like to wake up full of energy and joy, because feeling alive again is possible. At 60, at 70, at 80, at any age, take a deep breath, smile, and remember, your body still remembers how to heal. All it needs now